Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our virtual tour of Bixby Marshland. For the first time in 15 months, we are open. Our marsh is open from 8 to noon, first Saturday. So we're doing a hybrid for the first hour this morning. We will have a virtual tour where Genesis Rodriguez will be walking around showing you images of the marshland. And then from there, yeah, there's Genesis. Let's say hi to Genesis. And after that first hour, you can come on down and see the marsh. So we're really excited. We're nervous. It's like first day of Broadway opening again, right, Mary?
Yes, it's very exciting that we're going to be here at the Marshland again.
Yeah, and so Mary knows everything you'd ever want to know about the marsh and would be afraid to ask. So Genesis will be our eyes and ears as we go around. Genesis, show them yourself. So let's see if we say Genesis has a phone that's going to go around, and there's Genesis, and she'll give us a virtual tour. Before we get going, I want to share some slides, and this is where Mary's the expert. So I'm going to share my screen for a bit. Talk a little bit about the history of the marsh. Let's do this right here. Genesis, you'll be my eyes and ears. Can you see that well? All right.
Yes.
So, okay. So, little background. So we're right here at the corner of Sepulveda and Figueroa in the lovely city of Carson. And here's Bixby Marshland, 17 acres. And Mary and I and Genesis work for Los Angeles County sanitation districts. And right next door is our largest wastewater treatment plant. It's been there since 1928, the joint water pollution plant in Carson, and about 5 million people depend on that treatment plant as far away as Pomona, as close as Carson for wastewater treatment. So why does a wastewater agency have a treatment plant, Mary?
You mean a marshland?
A marshland.
A marshland, yes.
Yes, a marshland.
It has a marshland because back in 1975-ish, the drain, Wilmington Drain, was installed to protect the joint water pollution control plant from flooding. What it did is it cut off a piece of an existing marshland from the rest of the marshland.
Let me see if we have a shot of that. So this is what it looked like back in the day. In 1941, there was an extensive marshland called Bixby Slough. As we got development, the marshland shrunk and the drain went in to protect homes and facilities from flooding.
Right, okay. And what it did is it cut off the supply of water to the Bixby Marshland. So while the drain was put in, there was an agreement between the flood control district and the sanitation districts to put a pump in to lift water from the drain into the marshland, so the marshland would continue to survive and to benefit the site.
All right, so let's see. So this is what it looked like. So Mary and her Merry Gang of marshland restoration folks look like. So here's some of our wastewater treatment plant facility, and this is an aerial shot of 1995. So then, Mary, I guess you guys went out and found someone to help us restore the marshland?
What happened is when we put in the digesters that are right next to the plant, to the marshland, we were worried that it would affect the marshland. So we started looking at the marshland. And one thing we found is the marshland was not being very growing and very healthy. So what we did is we redid the marshland. We took everything off except for some tules that were in the water at one end of the marshland. And we regraded so that we had some water features in the site, the ponds that are there now. And we planted native plants because we had a situation where about a third of the plants in the area in the marshland were non-natives. And so we wanted to put in native plants so that the marshland would be healthy. We did that, and it took us a number of years between taking the plants off, regrading, and then replanting all the new plants. And we opened in 2009.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
2000 time flies.
Yeah, it
So-
does. That was when the marshland reopened with the visitor area and the new plants, and it has just flourished since then. And it's a lovely place, and it's a home to birds and other wildlife here.
And I want to just kind of give you orientation. So here's the Wilmington Drain flood control channel. Water gets pumped in from here, and then it meanders through, if you can follow my cursor, and that water gets purified as it goes through, and it creates habitat. And then here's the parking lot that Mary and I are sitting at, and we've already got 4 visitors already this morning. So just like a
Yes.
rebirth, a reopening for the marshland. So come on down. So this is an aerial shot, a drone shot, what the marshland looks like. So here's the parking
that's
lot
cool.
we're sitting at right now. And you get to see from the day it opened over 10 years ago, it's really grown in 17 acres.
This is really dramatic because these plants, you've got to remember, most of them were 10-gallon or less, the trees, when they were put in. So they were maybe 6 feet tall. And just look at how lush and lovely it is now.
And there's a bridge with our water, the water going through. And pretty soon I'm gonna hand it off to Genesis Rodriguez. But I want you to get a feel of a bird's eye view. And then a little bit of marshland. There are basically 3 distinct areas in the marsh. There's an aquatic area, riparian area between the water body and upland. And you'll see different types of species of plants and creatures in these 3 distinct areas.
Yes,
Anything you
yes.
want to add, Mary, on this?
One of the special things about this is the tules area, because that is an area where those tules, they can either be above water or below water up to about 2 feet. And the reason they're special is they do clean the water. They take heavy metals and things out of the water. Marshlands are special because they're called the kidneys of the environment. And what they do is when there's water rushing down from rainstorms, snow melt, things like that, they slow down the water because they're an area where it can spread out, and it drops its load of silt and other types of dirt and stuff. And what happens then is the water continues on, and it's cleaner when it gets into a river or the ocean in this case. So the marshland allows the water to slow down, settle out, and become cleaner when it goes on into the next body of water.
I told you she knows a lot. All right, and with that, let's hand it off to Genesis. And Genesis is going to give us a little taste of nature here in the marshland. Genesis, I'm not seeing your screen at this point, or maybe, there you go. Now I see your video, and I want to make sure you are the person that we are spotlighting. Spotlight for everyone. So there you go. So there's Genesis's screen. We're now in the parking lot, and we're using improvised technology. There's Genesis. Our
Hi, everyone. How are you? I'm here reporting to you live from Bixby in Carson on the corner of Figueroa and Sepulveda. Here I am standing at the parking lot of Bixby. So here are some of the cars or
Our first
people that
visitors
are
in 15
already
months.
here. And then there's Basil and Mary over there. So that's a bit of what is it called? Deja vu or I forgot
Yeah.
the name of that movie. But anyway, so over there, if you see that little black dot where my finger is pointing, do you guys see that?
Yes. Yeah.
You see the little black dot like that my finger is pointing to? So that, even though it's really far away, that's a Cooper's nest. So we don't see any mama bird nearby yet, but hopefully, you know, through our tour, we'll end up seeing her. But that is one big nest. And we know it's a Cooper's nest because we've seen it earlier where the mom comes and is usually sitting there. But anyway, so we're moving on.
Yes.
Right?
Move
Is
on.
there anything you wanted to add, Basil? Okay.
If you see any plant, part of the thing is let's try to see if we can test Mary's knowledge so we can get close-up shot of different
Okay,
plants.
perfect.
We-
I'm glad because I don't know as much as Mary. So
It's a studio game where we've lost your video.
sorry, I 1 second. Okay.
There we go.
So there you go. So here we have, well, I don't know if you wanted to mention that these are made out of recycled wood.
Get closer with your camera so the audience can see it. Get a close-up. And then Mary can talk and slow down the camera shot so the information could be uploaded through the. So Mary, what would you want to say about this?
This is the wood that makes up the fence, and the fence is to delineate where the marshland is. This is right next to the parking lot here. So
Was this recycled wood from when, or just
no, this is just regular wood.
okay? There we go.
No.
All
Okay, sorry guys.
All right, so give us a plant. Show us.
How about that tree with all the white cotton in it? That is actually a
definitely
willow
looks like
tree. That's a willow tree. And willow trees are special because they bend instead of break. So if there's a flood, they will bend. And if anything does break off, like a branch, it will float down with the water, and wherever it gets left, it will put down roots and grow a new willow tree.
So
You
here's a
notice
close-up.
there's cottony substance. Janice, if you could keep the camera still and get close, if you could. There's a cottony substance around the willow tree at this time of year. My understanding would help to propagate the tree.
Right, that's seeds. Yeah,
Those seeds.
those are seeds, and they have the cottony stuff, so they get carried by the wind.
Yeah, so they're almost like little sails that take them off, and they're falling off the tree, and they're throughout. They're covered a lot of the plants here. Anything else you want to say about the willow tree?
No, willow trees are really a very classic marshland plant.
Okay, very good. All right, so Genesis, we can move on to the next location.
Okay, great.
And you can see
Because those are the best buds I found, but I'm only 5 feet tall.
yeah,
But yeah, so you'll see them all over Bixby.
yeah,
You'll see here, they tend to be kind of messy.
yeah.
That's made out of recycled wood.
That's nature. That's
Yeah.
nature. Nature's messy.
Yes, nature's messy. And then the next, what we see, stop right there,
Okay,
Genesis,
up
with the,
next.
we lost you.
Now, pine trees are not a native to a lowland marshland. What they are is they're in the upper lands of the marshland. So you will see some pine trees around the edges of the marshland.
And this is a Tory pine, I think Genesis is showing
Yes.
right here.
Yes.
And those are native.
A Tory pine. And can you go get a close-up of the pine needles, Genesis, or?
Yes.
We're making you go through the marshland.
Yes, yes. And
There we go.
Yeah.
Nice long pine needles there.
Yeah, and one of the things that we've learned from doing these virtual tours is that the Torrey pine, which this is what this is, it's unique because it has like five, each of those bundles has about five, I don't know what you call them, pine needles coming
Yeah.
out in groups. If you see it much up close. So our shot is frozen. Um, we're having, Genesis, can you hear us? I think we've lost her. Hope she's not lost in the marsh.
There we go
There
again.
you go. Okay. Let's see.
This is a learning experience, everybody.
Yes. So here's a close-up shot of the pine needles. There you go. And see the five thought I don't know what you call it, leaves growing out
Yeah,
of it.
it's a bundle of needles.
Yeah, needles. Yeah, and that distinguishes the Torrey pine. And this is one of the few Torrey pine groves left in the state of, I guess, in North
Well, in the
America.
area, yeah.
In the area. There's one down in San Diego that everyone knows about. And then I think there may be one, Catalina, I think, or I'm not sure. And then here. All right. All right. Thank you, Genesis. And
All right.
now we're going to the placards. We have a number of placards throughout the site.
And they're in English and Spanish.
Yeah.
And you can see the placard there. It's talking about the marshland. This is very similar to the visual that Basil showed us, where it shows the water and the riparian area and the upland area. And it's got some examples of different types of plants. And on the lower left, you'll see what is a cross section of a tule. And tulips are special, as I said, because they can grow with their roots in water. And the reason they can do that is instead of
Hold on a
bringing,
second, the video.
Excuse me.
They said the
I'm
video is
sorry.
not showing. The video is not showing. Let me.
Can
Let's see.
Can you spotlight me or put me on a gallery?
Let's try to spotlight you. A spotlight for everyone.
There you go. Perfect.
There you go. So if you could go lower left, you can see the video, the tule. Go ahead, Mary.
okay, well, the special thing about a tule is instead of taking the air from the roots, it can take air from the atmosphere. And that allows it to live with its roots in the water.
Cool.
All right, thank you.
So we will move on to the other parts of Bixby. And so here you have this really nice walkway.
Look to your
so
right.
Look to your right, Genesis. The plant
Okay.
right there.
That's a lemonade bush. And lemonade bushes are native plants, of course, and they seem to really like the marshland because they just totally boomed in the area. And lemonade bushes actually do have a berry on them that you can make a sour lemonade from. And that is something the Indians used as a drink.
And if
So-
folks have any questions, you can put them in the Q&A and we'll get to them. You're going to say
So
something,
these-
Genesis?
Yeah, I was just gonna say these they've been trimmed. These don't have any berries, but I think I've seen another bush further down that does.
Okay.
But I don't see
Very
any
good.
berries on this one.
And they're very waxy leaves and pretty tart.
Yeah, and what I was noticing too is not only are they waxy, but they're kind of spiky. Do you see this?
Yeah, you can bring your camera even closer. Let's see the texture of the leaf, the waxiness of the leaf.
That's a bad leaf, but this one. You'll notice that the leaves aren't like, they have a lot of like little bumps on the edges that are kind of spiky.
Yeah,
I hope that's a lemonade bush.
yeah, it is.
I think
It is, yeah,
it is.
Yeah,
Well, they're
yeah,
not all spiky, but yeah, this is the lemonade bush.
Yeah.
Can you guys see that?
yeah.
Perfect. So that is
Yeah.
the lemonade bush, and then we walk a little further down.
So this is the path. How much path do you think? How long is the walk through the marshland?
Oh, I'm really no good at
Okay.
evaluating.
But it's a leisure.
It's a leisurely area. If you walk all the way around, you might walk a mile.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, do we have any sage bush there? We used to have sage bush on the right.
Let's
Yes,
check.
there looks
We
like
do
I
have.
see. That looks like the gooseberry.
Yes. That one has
But
a
it's a
very
sage scrub.
distinctive flower and it's very lovely.
Can you get us a close-up shot of the leaves and any of the flowers that may be on the gooseberry?
Oops, there's a grape
Where?
right in front of us. Not a grape, but the grape plant.
Oh, the grape plant. Yeah. But we're looking at the gooseberry right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought.
Gooseberry was under that.
It looks like this is it.
Is
Yeah.
that the gooseberry? Am I
Yeah.
mistaken?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
so.
apologize. It's been a
Oh,
while
well.
since I've been here.
15 months at least. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a plant, and it kind of matches the leaves on the placard.
Okay,
yeah,
then
you
that
can
is
tell
the
some
gooseberry.
some
And get as
insects have
close as
bitten
you
off of
can
it.
with your camera.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when that is in bloom, it's really a lovely and distinctive flower. Very pretty.
And notice the thorns on the
Yeah, I just kind of
plant.
poked myself. I didn't notice
Oh, I'm sorry.
earlier.
And what that
Yeah.
I guess the berries are pretty tasty, but the thorns make sure there's some that survive
Yeah.
to propagate the plant. Yeah, and you
Oh,
can see
really?
the thorns. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you can see the
Careful,
thorns. Let me
Genesis.
Yeah, be careful. We don't want to lose you in the marsh.
zoom in again.
Yeah, very cool.
There you go. Perfect. You can see it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Perfect.
very cool.
There it is. So we will move on, and then here you'll notice that the leaves are even changing color. They're starting to change color. So very
And
pretty.
do you see any other interesting plants? I think that's the area where we have our Cowboy Cologne, someplace in that area, or
I
sage.
think not. Yeah, I think it's a little further down.
Like right there, that looks like to your
Oh,
left.
okay.
Slow down. To your left, just turn to your. That's the sage, and then the Cowboy Cologne. That's the sage, but you
Got
passed the Cowboy Cologne, I think.
Oh, I thought that was
So,
the okay.
I
yeah.
Oh,
think
because
that's the
usually there's another bush over there that tends to be a little bigger.
Go to
Here
the one.
is
Yeah, break a
that?
little piece off and smell it. And that's how
Okay.
we can tell. Too bad we don't have smell-o-vision.
Okay, I just broke off a little piece, and here's an up close shot. Here's
So
an up close shot of it.
What is the
And
actual name of this? Is it Artemis or something?
I
No,
think
it's not Artemis.
I just
so
noticed
I'm gonna.
Cowboy Cologne. It has quite
Yeah,
a
it is strong.
fragrance. Supposedly, when people were on the range and they came in and they wanted to conserve water, not taking a shower, they
It's very
break some off.
strong.
Yeah.
Well, as they would ride through this stuff, it would rub against them. So then that's what the cowboys smelled like
Yeah.
because they were riding through this this Cowboy Cologne and it smelled much better than
My story's
whatever else
better.
they did.
My story's
It
better.
smells
Your
very,
story's
very
better.
strong.
Well,
This reminds
whichever
me.
way
Do you
it
guys
made them
remember
smell
of a
better than they
perfume?
would have otherwise.
Yeah. Yeah. So that
There
give
was
us
this.
a close. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying there was a cologne that had horses on it that my dad would wear when I was little. And this reminds me very much of that cologne. I forgot what it was called, but it had horses on it.
Yeah. It's
But
quite
anyway.
it's quite fragrant.
Here
And then
is a
next to it, I
close-up.
see. Pardon? Oh, that's very cool.
It smells really, really strong though. My hands smell a lot.
Yes. And
Good.
then
I don't
next
have to take
it
a
is
shower for the
is
day.
the sage up the road, and I'm trying to remember what the Cowboy Cologne's real name is. But
Google it.
that's exactly what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, this is the sage. And we have two types of sage. We have a purple sage and a black sage. This looks like the purple sage, which is a lighter color of leaf, and the black sage has a darker color. I wish
This is
there were some
very cool because if I take a piece,
yeah, this is
here
very
is
fragrant also.
a close up of it. So you can see it kind of has like a velvety texture.
Mhm. And go ahead and rub that, and it smells delicious.
Let me try my other hand because I think this hand smells a lot like the Cowboy Cologne hand. So I'm going to.
And you are correct. The Cowboy Cologne is called Artemisia,
Okay,
California.
Artemisia. Okay, I got it a little bit
Oh
wrong.
yeah, this one's
No, you
strong
got it right.
too.
Yeah.
This one's definitely strong, but I think the other one's probably stronger. But they still smell both very good.
Yeah. Thank you for visiting us. We have our first in-person visitors in 15 months.
So we'll move along from the.
If you'd like any information up here, go ahead and help yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, they
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
There's willow trees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So move on to the other parts
Yeah.
of Bixby.
And this is just a taste for the folks that are close by. We hope you can come on down because we're open till noon today.
Yes.
There's a lot of grasslands. We have a number of people that have come and visited us this morning. Yeah. And more placards as you go through.
This talks about all the recycling at the marsh and how everything from the benches to the trash cans, the fences, the car stops here, it's all made from salvaged wood,
Yeah.
salvaged eucalyptus trunks or recycled plastic or yeah,
One
pretty
thing
cool.
that was here before we redid the marshland were a lot of eucalyptus. And eucalyptus, they're not native to here, they're native to Australia. So we took out the eucalyptus trees and there were enough of them to provide us with wood to put in the stops in the parking lot and to build a couple of pergolas that provide shade and areas for plants to grow up on them. So there you can see the one pergola there in the lower right, and that is made with the eucalyptus wood that was recycled from the area, from the marshland itself.
Genesis, are you close to any of the pergolas where we can take a close-up?
She's getting there.
Okay.
I'm getting there. I'm almost there. Oh, this is this is a lemonade berry. Oh, okay, so here are the berries.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
more
so
berries. We have it all over the place.
yeah, the other one was a little trimmed, but this you can tell.
Oh,
Can you see
they
that?
cut back. Oh, so these are the
They're
dried berries.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
they're
the same leaf, but this one has,
they're
I guess,
drying up, but this
we have
is
a
my
maintenance
favorite.
crew. Yeah.
This is my favorite
Normally
bush
we
because
don't
of all the berries.
normally we don't do trimming or any type of removal so that the marshland is a natural area, and if a branch falls down or something, it just provides you know food for grubs and things like that, and the grubs break it down into soil. So that's the natural process. But along our walkways, we do trim that so people can get through. And in the situation like one we had a while back, if there are any diseased plants, we do take those out so that it doesn't spread the disease.
I just wanted to show this. When you look at the close-up of the berries,
Oh,
you'll see
wow.
all around the plant, you're gonna have pieces of that
Hold the
willow.
shot on there so the camera focuses a little bit and get as close. Yeah, you can see the color of the berries and then the I don't know what you call it, the fur from the willow
Yeah.
tree.
Yeah.
It's kind of encased the berries. Pretty cool.
Yeah, and so you'll see that in every little berry bunch in this bush. It'll just be filled with
The
with
berries are a
little.
little bit the berries are a little bit sticky, is why that is the fuzz from the willow trees is sticking to the berries.
Got it. And this is, yeah, it's crazy. So
Very
when they're
cool.
in season, usually we try tasting them. But
They're
there you go.
very, yes.
Yeah. She's
Yeah,
just
they're very
she's
tart.
giving us a little taste of the plant. So if we can, and then there's more sage right there,
Yes,
There's
that's
more
sage.
sage.
and we have more visitors coming in. It's a good day, Mary.
It's a very
A good
good
day.
day. It's
Yes.
lovely here. It's not too hot, not too cold.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna go to the
Here comes one of our pergolas.
Yes. We like to see the
there's one of the trash cans made from recycled material.
recycled material.
Ta-da!
So
Ah!
pergola. There you go. What do you want to say about the pergola?
Well,
Yes.
first of all, you'll notice that it looks like it's crowned by beautiful green stuff, and that happens to be California grape. It has climbed up the pergola and made a wonderful shade on top of it. And it is, it does indeed produce grapes that the birds love. And you can see we have some tables underneath that. So if someone wants to sit and take a break, they can take a break there. We also use this as an educational area. We've had a few classes in the past, and hopefully we will continue that in the future.
We have a couple
So
more
let me-
guests coming in.
Yes,
This is
more
a great
guests.
place for bird watching, and I see they have pretty cool bird watching. Oh, hey. Hi. So we see some familiar faces
Familiar
and friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're doing a hybrid. We're giving a Zoom broadcast. Kim, right?
Yes.
Kim, and she's Kim. Kim, one of our
that Kim?
friends of Bixby. Yeah, Kim
Is that
Moore.
Kim,
and
Kim?
She's a great
No way.
photographer. She's a star here at Bixby. She can show the beauty. She's done some of the virtual tours. She's one of our wonderful docent,
She'll get a bench one day.
and she'll get more than a bench. She'll
In
get a
30
tree.
years, in 30 years.
So
yeah.
we're broadcasting out to folks that can't be here, and we want them to know that the marsh is open and they can come on down.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So and Genesis is using her camera to show them the pergola with the grapes right now, and we're
Kim is my
broadcasting.
inspiration.
Yeah. So what else? So welcome. Thank you for showing up. First time in 15 months. It feels awkward to.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I
right, yeah,
know.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kim's an inspiration. I try to. Her photos are the best.
Yeah, Kim Moore is truly an inspiration. She showed us the beauty, especially on a microscopic level of the marsh.
So these are the
So
leaves
try
up
to
close.
channel your inner Kim and get me a close-up of the California grape.
Of
Do
the
you
grape
see
or of
any
the
grapes?
leaves?
Do you see any
I
grapes
do.
on there?
I
have
see
the
a
birds
bunch
gotten them all?
actually. I'm just trying to find a good bunch to show you guys, and I think I found. Well, there's one.
Oh,
Yeah.
closer.
But-
That's what Kim would do. Kim would do
I'm-
anything for the art.
Kim has like one of the best
Oh my-
cameras ever.
Wow.
I'm trying to get better lighting.
Just keep it
It's-
steady too. Keep it steady, because
It's very
It's
unusual
hard.
to see this many grapes still there because the birds usually grab those grapes up.
you know the birds have been staying at home too, right?
Do they wear masks so they can't get those grapes there?
Masked boobies in the harbor.
Ah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. Somebody put a picture of that.
Oh wow, Genesis, great shot.
Yeah.
now the grapes are a little tart too, so I don't know if you want to taste those, Genesis.
I can't even reach them.
Oh, I'm
Okay.
I'm
sorry.
like on my tiptoes,
Fantastic. Thank you.
which
We
is why you'll
appreciate it.
see me probably trembling a lot because I'm trying to
right.
get a close up. But hold on, let me
No, that's fine. We don't want you to have to.
to fall.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
is kind of
don't fall.
embarrassing, but okay. Oh, never mind. I didn't get anything.
It's
Let
okay.
me see.
Isn't
It ain't
this like
easy
a
being 5
construction
feet.
Table?
Yeah.
And that's an amazing
So
floor.
this is
Yeah. So the grapes have had years to,
This is
to
the-
grow up.
Wow.
that's a close up of the grape. So you want me to try it?
Only if you want to.
You'll see it live here on Bixby.
Little sour,
It's tart.
very
It's
tart.
very.
All right,
yeah.
thank you. Thank you. We appreciate the sacrifice. All right. All right. So we'll
Okay.
keep moving because we're gonna try to wrap
That
it
was
up around
very
9.
sour.
So
Okay. So I just wanted to zoom in on the wood, and you'll see all these markings. Basil, do you know?
Yeah, those are actually tracks from bugs that when these trees were alive, the bugs would burrow under the bark and basically eat part of the tree. So that's those are bug trails.
I used
Probably
to think
needles
there
of
was
some
some kind of
yeah.
alien message or something.
Oh.
And then I was
But-
told they were, bug trails. But they're, I mean, it's still pretty. Look how impressive it is.
Yeah.
Very artistic, those bugs.
Yeah.
Very, very, very artistic. Who'd have thought?
Let's get to the bridge because we want to show people the water.
Yeah.
All right. So walking out there to the bridge.
And as she walks there, this is Mary, how many species of bird have been identified?
Oh
here?
boy, you're asking me to
Just so you
dig
don't-
through my memory.
Don't be an engineer. Just be close enough.
70 to 90,
Yeah.
something in that range.
Yeah. And in December, they usually do a bird count.
Right.
Usually in April, May, it's really a great time to come because it's like migratory bird season.
Right. And also in October when they're going back or coming down, and then in the spring they go back. So this is the approach to the bridge, and it's very lovely. The bridge is made out of recycled wood, and this is over between two of our ponds. So you
So
can
let me
see,
do a quick panoramic shot.
and we'll get to see some of those famous tules in this shot. Yeah.
So those tall grass, like, can I call them grass?
Yeah, they look like they've got grass heads on them. That is actually the tules with their seed pods on them. And you can see that there's some duckweed growing on the water. So are there any tules that are close enough to the bridge for you to
Yes.
reach?
Here you go.
All right, there's a bunch of tules, a stand of tules.
Hey,
Now, you can, if you get a chance to feel these tules, you'll see that their stems, I'll call them stems, are triangular. So you can feel that they have 3 sides. And if you are able to break them open, they're really tough to break open, so don't try. You won't be able to do it with one hand.
This one seems like it was already broken. Or
So you can
it was
see
fine.
inside.
Yeah.
That's the stem is hollow, and that's where the air goes through from the top of the plant down to the roots.
Oh, you're right. It is hollow. It's very hollow. I don't know if
oh, that's a great shot. You can-
Tules are a very special plant in the marshland because they're what's called a riparian plant. And what that means is that they can grow basically at the edge of the water, where sometimes their roots are covered in water and sometimes they're not.
And the word riparian means edge of the water. Or,
Edge of the water, yeah.
so
And you can
basically,
kinda
bank,
see-
anything that grows on the bank.
this one was already falling off, but yeah, you can see what what Mary was talking about, that they're triangle stems.
Yeah.
Now the question is it an isosceles, an equilateral?
Yeah.
I've never measured it.
Yeah. We don't know what the angles are. Very cool.
But-
And there are just thousands of tules, all you see around the water, and it becomes good habitat for certain.
Right,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
For now, one of the non-natives at the marshland is mosquito fish. I doubt you'll be able to see them today because
I saw some when I walked.
Did
on.
you?
They
Okay.
were quite
they're
good.
they're They're small. They're a
Yeah.
few inches long, and w- the
I do see
mosquito
them, but
abatement puts those in our water because of trying to control mosquitoes since we have open water.
Yeah.
And tules, one thing about it is that you can only see a little bit of the marshland. There's a lot of the marshland that you can't see, and most of it is covered with tules. So the tules are the water, the thing that cleans the water and also helps slow down the water so that it drops its the load of soil and stuff, so that doesn't go into the open water, rivers, oceans, whatever.
All right.
I will continue walking that way. Are there any
Okay.
questions?
No, no questions. If you have any questions, put them in the Q&A and Mary will answer them. Yeah. And Genesis is going to make her way across the bridge to where the water comes into the marsh, where there's a pump that pumps water out of the storm drain. Do you see any plants that
I
you
was wondering if you see any sycamore trees. I don't know whether there's any sycamore trees there in that area. Those are willows.
I think there's sycamores where the water comes into the marsh, Genesis, and a sycamore leaf is almost like a maple leaf, or
Yeah, it looks very similar to a maple leaf.
yes. As you go straight ahead to the right.
And actually, it looked like there might have been some mule fat.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you about mule fat. Mule fat it looks
Is that
very
mule?
much,
Is that mule fat?
it looks very much like a willow tree, its leaves do. And I'm sorry, but I've forgotten how you tell the difference.
Okay.
But they're bushes rather than trees. And they're very important because they provide a lot of sustenance for the animals. The animals eat the stems and the leaves and stuff. And so they're very important to the ecology of the marshland.
I think it's this one, no?
Yeah, it is. Get close and study the camera for a bit, just so the data can it can upload, so our audience can get a really good. So the leaves are very similar to the willow, but it's a shrub or a bush, as Mary said.
And it's a lot easier to tell when the flowers are out because the flowers are yellow.
Oh, so it has a yellow flower. The
Yes,
set. Okay,
yes.
I did not know that. Very cool. Great camera work. So as you go around the bend to where the water comes in, Genesis, there should be some sycamores. So if you go to the right, I think there's some sycamore there. Look,
There used to be.
yeah. Look for
Oh,
leaves.
the left.
The left.
I think that
yeah.
to the left, I think that's a sycamore tree. No.
The one
Closest to you.
Closer to. It's not
Closer
a
to
really
you.
big one.
No, other
This
way.
one? Okay, let me back
Look
up.
for really big leaves. Look for
I
really
know.
big
I
leaves.
thought those were big leaves.
Right there.
There it is.
There it is, right there. It's a young or baby sycamore. Yeah, they can get.
Let me get a close up of the leaves.
Yeah.
Let me find a good spot that I can reach.
There, you can see some of the leaves. One thing about sycamore tree there's a couple things I can tell you about sycamore trees. The leaves on a sycamore tree, it has the largest leaves of any tree in North America. So sometimes you'll find really, really big leaves, and it has the biggest leaves of any trees in North America.
More than the
other
maple?
thing is that's not a sycamore.
That's not.
Oh.
Oh, that is
Sorry.
a sycamore.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
sorry.
Okay.
It's
I'm
just-
sorry. That is it just looked different.
Because it's a small tree.
Yeah, it's a small that is the shape of a sycamore leaf.
And the trees get quite big. This is just a young version of it, but as you get closer to the water, there's some huge sycamore trees.
And if you look, I think you can see one of the seed pods hanging there.
Oh yeah.
It looks like a ball.
Oh, these?
Yes.
Get in closer. Do your best, Kim
Ah.
Moore. And see.
Trying.
And so
It won't
focus.
focus
Doesn't want to focus on those, but
Yeah.
because
that
it's so.
those the
Because it's really,
balls
really thin.
they look like little brown balls. They are the seeds for the sycamore tree. And sycamore trees are also called buttonwood trees.
There you go.
And the thing about the reason they're called that is because the wood is very hard, and it is used for things like buttons, because the narrow part of the button between the two holes, because it's such a hard wood,
It is a
that
hardwood.
that little spindle doesn't break.
Mhm.
So that's why it's used for buttons. It's also used for butcher blocks and things like that.
Okay.
Yeah, you can tell the wood is very hard. I can't. Yeah, for how thin it is, I can barely even move it.
And the
So-
tree will get much bigger.
Trees get much bigger.
Yeah, the tree, it'll grow much bigger. This is an early version. Like over closer to the rivers, the water bank, you'll see really big sycamores. But
I
you
will
can't
walk
leave
on
the house.
over through the water bank.
Don't stay on. No, you're good. Don't. So what you're looking at now is where the water comes in from the storm drain or Wilmington drain. And this is how there's a pump station over there where it pumps water in there. And this is where the water now comes in and meanders through the marshland, creating habitat. It's cleaned. And then if it doesn't evaporate or percolate, it leaves cleaner and then it goes towards the ocean.
Right. And a lot of it does evaporate or percolate. So the water coming in is quite a bit larger than the water that goes out back to the drain.
Okay. So there you have it. You had like a quick walk through the marsh. There's a second pergola that Genesis is going to take us to. Things are starting to pick up. We get a lot more ambient sound around us, as you can pick up. But
once you're over in the marshland, the sound is muted, and you can just kind of imagine it's a waterfall or something instead of traffic.
yeah, because we're right next to the freeway at
Yes.
the intersection of Sepulveda and Figueroa.
Here's
Oh,
the
look
other
at these
structure,
beauties.
shade structure. This one is a round one. There's some more grapes. And the structure, again, is made out of scavenged eucalyptus from the site. And we used almost all of the eucalyptus logs that were cut down in the area, in the marshland.
And there you have it.
There you have it.
Do you want to show the last placard over there, Genesis?
Yeah. So,
This is a very interesting placard because it shows birds and animals that can be found in the marshland. And it talks about what area they like.
Yeah. And as we're in the summer months, you won't see as many birds as in the rainier, wetter months. Like in May, it was amazing the number of birds we saw. We saw the nesting Cooper's hawk. We saw different
Wonderful.
We saw cormorant. We saw egrets.
we saw the
Ducks,
Townsend.
of course.
Ducks, of course.
We-
Oh, we had Canadian geese that almost attacked me, and that's recorded on, I think, our May or April edition of this virtual broadcast. There are two Canadian geese that would not leave the bridge, and as I tried to walk across.
We also see herons here, green
also
herons,
saw the
and we've actually
Townsend
seen a blue
warblers.
heron here.
Pardon, Genesis?
We had also seen Townsend warblers.
Oh, Townsend
Yeah.
warblers. Yeah.
And you can often
And this kind
What
of
are
tells you their little route.
yellow something.
Oh shoot, Nathan's out here. The yellow warbler? No. The
It's not a warbler. It's,
towhee?
no.
Okay.
But there
Alright.
are some birds that you can hear that have really lovely bird songs.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. You usually don't see the birds, but you can hear them in the marshland.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Well-
if you're very lucky, you will see a Pacific tree frog.
Yeah. All right, so that kind of concludes our virtual walk through through Bixby Marshland. We're open now. We've already had about 10 people visit us between 8 and 9 this morning. We're open for another 3 hours, and we're open the first Saturday of the month. You can see the top of the pergola with some of the fuzz from the willow tree. But
It
we're
looks
open
like
now
spider webs.
again, and so come on
Oh,
down.
is that spider webs?
Oh,
Oh, that's
spider
No, I'm
pretty
saying
good.
no. I said it looks like it, but
Looks
it's
like
Oh,
not.
it
it
looks like
looks
spider
spider
webs. Yeah.
So come on down. We're open from 8 to noon. Mary and Charlie will be here, and you can ask away, and we can even give you a guided tour, and bring your binoculars or cameras, and you'll see just
Mhm.
wonderful pictures. There's a lot of insects here. They're very unique, from dragonflies and the like. And so we'll take some questions, and then we're going to sign off in a bit. Let's see what we have in the chat. Oh, do you have to make a reservations? No, just come on down first Saturday of the month. But if you have a school or a community group that would like to visit the marsh, then contact us. Then you would make a reservation. You could send us an email at info@lacsd.org, info@lacsd.org. Send us an email, and we will try to open up the marsh for you, and we can set it up for tours. And you can come in with your bicycle. We have a gentleman that just rode his bicycle in. You can't ride your bike through the marsh, but you can at least park it and take a look.
There's my
And Miss
favorite
Kim,
nature
that's
photographer.
great nature photographer, Kim Moore. That camera she has is
Nice
an
to meet you.
amazing tool. So there are people here. And then there's another question from Carolyn. Let's see what the question is. Did I see fuchsias at the beginning of the tour, or are they California natives? That's a mirror question.
Okay, what we saw were the gooseberries, or was that what those
Yeah,
plants are
yeah,
called?
the gooseberry.
Yeah, the fuchsias are not here. So they're not native to a marshland. So I don't know if they're native to California, but they're not native to a marshland.
Okay, yeah. All right, so that was the question. So if there are no other questions, thank you all for attending, viewing virtually, as Genesis kind of makes her way back to the parking lot. I think she's gonna, and you see
Oh,
folks
look,
enjoying the marsh.
there's a bird out in the wild
Yes,
reading.
yes. And you can just sit here, get a book, pick up a book and read, or bring your camera. And there's Charlie and Mary and
And
me,
Basil.
yeah, and Basil. And it's a wonderful, peaceful place. And I
Yeah.
thank Mary for getting up an early Saturday morning. And Mary was one of the engineers that led the restoration. So I know she looks really young, but a while back, I think this is one of your projects to restore it.
It was one of my projects that I enjoyed the most.
Yeah.
And one other thing, the marshland is like a little green gem in the middle of the city. So it's a nice place to come and relax.
Yeah, and we want people to take advantage of it. It's just,
Yes,
a lot of people
definitely,
live so close
definitely.
by, they're not even aware it's here.
Right, and kids, they're just not used to this kind of of an area, so it's great for them to see a little bit of nature.
And there's great nature here. Yeah, just great nature here. We've seen all kinds. I mean, Genesis and I, for the last 15 months, we've been coming out here once a month, and we've always been in awe of what we've seen here. And especially when you have someone like a Kim Moore or Nathan Hike, or someone who's an expert on, or Al Sattler, who's an expert on plants. There's so much life here that you don't notice until someone points out, hey, there's a Cooper's hawk there, or look at this this what appears to be a bee. It's really a fly that's mimicking a bee. So there's a lot of wondrous things here. So with that, enjoy your Saturday. Mary and Charlie will be here, and Genesis is making sure I look up at her camera. Mary and Charlie will be here till 10. Then we have a couple more docents that'll be here from 10 to noon. So come on down, or if you want to have the marsh open on a special day for your community group or your school, just call ahead and we can do that for you. It's a wonderful oasis right here in lovely Carson. Thank you. Enjoy your Saturday. Thank you, Genesis. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Charlie. I know.
Thank you, Basil.
Yeah. And first time in 15 months. That's good.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, and hope
Oh,
to see you here.
And that's if there's, I think there was, let me see. Oh, just thank you. They said, Mary, you look great on camera. Basil, not so much. Oh, so here's another question. This is not a question, a sincere compliment. My feet would not allow me to navigate the area on foot. You made me feel that I would like to find another method to tour the wonderful natural area. Thank you. Thank
Great. It is friendly to wheelchairs. So there are handicap parking, and you can come and visit if you need to use a wheelchair or a scooter or something like that. You can go along the paths.
All right. Thank you, folks. Have a great Saturday. Have a happy 4th of July weekend, and throw a hamburger on the grill for me and a veggie burger for you.
A veggie burger for me.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Bye, folks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.